people have been the best thing. The island is beautiful. The weather has been gloriously too hot for us Scots. I'm even tanned for once. But the best part has been getting to hang out with you and Eleni and everybody else, having VKN people I know and I've talked to for a while, having new VKN people who we've now just got on for the first time and will have in the future. So yeah, the best thing has been hanging out with everybody and getting to know them better.
Hello everyone, we are here with Benedicte. She's from Norway and we've met her at the Rhodes knitting retreat and we've brainwashed her to joining our iVKN group, and she said she would join us when she's back in Norway. And we'd just like to ask Benedicte some of her thoughts, impressions, how she felt here at the Rhodes retreat.
It's been a wonderful week, and everyone has been so including. So even though I came alone and didn't know anybody, I didn't feel left out. And it's really nice group, and it's fun to talk knitting. Even though we don't talk knitting all the time.
Yeah, and that's how it is in our iVKN group. You know, it's a crafty related group, but we can talk about other stuff. We are here with Carmen from Australia, as I like to call her, Carmen the Legend. So we'd like to ask Carmen about her impressions of the Rhodes retreat. So Carmen, how has it been so far on this knitting retreat / adventure?
It's been absolutely fabulous. It's beyond my imagination.
I'm here with Carola and Martin. Carola is the psychic knitter,
Hiya.
aka Otherworldly Yarns, and Martin is Grimzag. They are the few of the last iVKNers at the Rhodes retreat. They are leaving with Eleni and myself later today. So we wanted their thoughts and impressions about the retreat, and Carola about the classes that you chose to take and the general vibe here.
I was down for John's, which is Beardychiel's top-down shawl design. And that's the only class I took this week. I was down for some other classes, but I just decided to chill, which was absolutely fine. That's the relaxed atmosphere that was here. That was no problem. Yeah,
it was a general relaxed atmosphere amongst the whole group, which was a nice thing. Martin, how about you? We have to mention your initiative to create a nice evening with Dungeons and Dragons. We had a lot of good feedback from people who played. We played ourselves. It was a lot of fun. What are your general impressions of this whole idea that John, aka Beardychiel, set up for us knitters, for the knitting community?
Oh, I hated it. It was awful. Absolutely terrible. I wouldn't ever. No, it was great.
We have to point out here that Martin is a non-knitter, so he joined us as a non-knitter. But as you can see from his hat and the iVKN badge, he is
the token non-knitter.
Yes,
That makes me part like a mascot.
he is one of us now, and he was before, but now it's official because we've met you guys in person.
And I've got the badge now.
Yes, yes, true. We are here with Eva Christie, aka Perth Festival of Yarn on Instagram. She has joined us at the Rhodes knitting retreat, and we want her to talk about her experiences with us here and a few other things. So Eva, what's your first impression of the retreat, and what can you tell us about this whole adventure, this knitting adventure?
It has been an adventure. I personally have had a wonderful time. It was just amazing to meet up with so many knitter friends, some people who have worked with me, some people that I've met like yourself through the iVKN. That's been really, really cool. So I think that the overall thing of the adventure has been the time that I've got to spend with the people that I really, really care about, the iVKN crew and shooters and things, because as you said, I'm a Perth Festival of Yarn, and normally when I'm doing my thing, I'm so busy looking after everybody else, I don't get the time to kick back and socialise, so that's been absolutely amazing.
We are always at the Rhodian Sun Hotel by the refreshing swimming pool with Laura, aka Beardychiel7 on Instagram, and we want to know her thoughts, impressions of the Rhodes retreat so far. It is the holiday is coming to its end. Our mood is a bit, sad, but we did have some very nice times, so we want Laura to tell us about those, and maybe we can start with your general experience here.
I had a wonderful time. I should emphasize at the beginning that I don't usually sound quite this sexy. I've had a bit of a cold this week, and now as it's starting to improve, it's landing me with laryngitis, so I don't always sound like Demi Moore, but that's for today. It's been a glorious week though, and it's mostly because we've been surrounded by such wonderful people. This retreat was the first for me, and it's my first time in Greece, and the weather has been amazing, but the people have been even more special. We've gotten to know some people that, as I've said all week, we really didn't know except for on the VKNs, but as Grace has said, Anna Willemil, we've been talking to them every week for a year, and so we feel like we know them, and which is true. From the first day, it felt like we were just getting together with old friends. There's been so much knitting and such great food and adventures into town, and all the while it's been amazing just to get to know people on a deeper level and find out more about them.
We are here with Pom from Scotland, originally from France, and we are with Linda from Sweden. She's one of the two Swedes that we refer to her and Johan as. They are here with us at the Rhodes Retreat 2018, and Linda and Pom are new to our group because we are officially welcoming them to the iVKN.
Yay!
And their holidays are almost over because they are leaving today, so that's why I wanted to catch both of them. And I just wanted to ask each of you some things about the retreat. So let me start with Linda and just ask you your thoughts, impressions on your experience here.
Oh wow. I was nervous when we got here, but everyone has been so nice, and yeah, it has just been wonderful altogether. I don't think I can talk too much because I'm gonna cry because I'm leaving.
Okay, and Pom, how about you?
I think a lot of people were saying that as well. Is the biggest thing for me has been meeting all the people, because everyone's been so nice and welcoming, and I've learned I picked up a few knitting tricks as well, and got a bit of vitamin D from the sun. But like the group of people, that's really been the main highlight for me.
Okay, we are with our fellow Greek iVKNer, Liz, aka Treliz.
Hello.
_color is power on Instagram. We'd like her thoughts on this Rhodian knitting retreat that was organized by John Glenn, aka Beardychiel. So what would you have to say your first impressions of your stay here so far?
It was really nice to see other followers, iVKNers in real life, and having, the time to knit and relax and go into small excursions. So that was really lovely. And what I really liked also that we had the opportunity to take classes, and then there would always be, someone who needs some help. And it was nice having help, in some situations with
without having to run on YouTube or waiting for maybe iVKN to be on and ask the others. You just had so many information and people around you that liked the same thing, which was really, really wonderful. And and we don't have this
opportunity, yeah.
So it was really nice.
We are at the reception area of the Rhodian Sun Hotel. We are here with Carola, who most of you know already from our iVKN clan, and we are with Stavros. He is one of the 3 brothers, along with his parents, who run this establishment. So we want to ask Stavros his opinion, his impressions of what he lived for the past week with our crazy knitting group. I say crazy in the good sense. And someone is shaking me. Who is it? Oh, it's Yorgos.
Hi, George.
Stavros' brother, who we have on footage from earlier. So, Stavros, what do you have to say? First off, I'd like to know how this idea came up for a Rhodes knitting retreat here at your hotel.
It was the idea came up on a conversation with John. One day he was taking a video outside and he was knitting. And,
from his previous trips here, because we have to mention he's been coming here for how long?
True, he's been coming here since 2012, once a year, and we always saw him knitting, and he did it with a big pleasure and joy. And last year I asked to him, "You like what you do?" He says, "Yes, it's anti-stress and all the good things he has to mention." And we're talking about it, and he told me how big the community is online, and then he told me that we should have a retreat here. It would be nice to have a retreat here. And I said, why not? Let's do it. And here we are.
Double knitting and strantage, double knitting, and Nathan is just wonderful tutor and really look after everyone, so everyone got the help they needed.
Do you think this was a good addition to the concept of a retreat, having lessons included? Would you have preferred it to be more chilled out, or do you think there was like a good balance between everything?
I personally would have loved more lessons and less excursions, because that's why I'm here in the first place. But I think many of the people love the mix.
All right.
Yeah.
And how about the classes you took here? What do you have to say about that? Tell us what you took, which classes?
Well, I did John's shawl design. I don't have the advanced knitting skills, but it gave me ideas to go away and attempt some designing.
And did you find that a nice addition to such a retreat, to offer courses, classes?
Yeah, because it stretches your ability.
In the case of Nathan, the absolutely nitty-gritty details of everything nerdy and podcast-wise and knitting-wise, and all the details of all kinds of things with everything of the classes that I took, the double knitting, the new strand tarsia, Ellie's class with her great knowledge of color work, which was so much fun, and John, the Beardychiel, and his great experience with design. I was inspired, and I have all kinds of great new ideas. I can't wait to get down.
That's great. And speaking about picking up tricks, you both took classes. So, Linda, I want to ask you first about your experiences from these classes. If you can tell us what classes you took and your feedback on these classes.
Yeah, I took color work with Ellie, and that was great. She gave me a lot of confidence, and I feel like more confident in my color work now. So that was great. And of course, Tunisian crocheting with John was great also, because that's something I have heard of but never thought to try it myself until now. So that was really fun. And double knitting was something completely new to me. I didn't even know really how it looked before I took Nathan's class. So that was interesting and very fun. I'm gonna continue with that one.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
I'm very happy.
you did everything. I mean, you took a course, a lesson from each of the tutors, which was nice.
Yeah.
And how about you, Pom? What did you do? Which classes?
The first class I took was with John about the shawl design, and that gave me a lot of inspiration. And also, it gives you in the handout there's like different shapes, so that's really interesting. And then you can do your own thing with it. Like, so I did. That was the first class I took, and my second class. I can't remember if the second. I think the second class was with Ellie.
Ellie, I think so.
But
Yeah.
I'd done color work before. I'd done mittens before, but I still picked up a lot of really good tricks, especially about the thumb placement, which has been a problem for me in the past for mittens. So that's been great. And I did a lot of classes. I then took Nathan's shaping in double knitting. So that's opening a whole new world of possibilities. And then I took the Strantasia. No, is it how you called it?
Yeah.
Strantasia. Yes. And I finished my little sampler, and now I've got, like, I keep on thinking about all the things I can do with that. So, yeah, it's been great. Lots and lots of inspiration from the classes.
Nice.
Yes.
And how about the classes you participated in?
Okay, I participated first in John's class, which was designing your own shawl, which designing was something that I've never, really figured about. Even if I have ideas, I didn't think that I would ever be interested. But I liked a shawl shape, and I immediately wanted to do something more. So that was something new. So I discovered this also facet of knitting that I like. And then I got Nathan's demystifying double knitting class. I already knew about the theory of how to do double knitting, but it was really great to have the opportunity to have a proper class for that. And and it's also good that if you do a mistake, there's, the professional guy to come to the rescue for that. And it was really, really cool. And also I got Ellie's class about stranded color work, and so we started a made, and I really liked it. I've already done some color work, but again, sometimes you just get a tip from a teacher that maybe you haven't thought, you haven't stumbled upon, and making it maybe just with more confidence the next time. And that was really nice, because I'm always vending in festivals and I never have the time or opportunity to have classes, so that for me was really, really cool and nice. And I think also for them it was better in a retreat having a class where we're all more relaxed than having a tight schedule at the festival.
It's nice to be a warm place, since I live a cold place. But also the lectures, like knitting, to learn something new.
All right.
Nice.
So we'd like to thank you, Benedicte, for your feedback and insight on this retreat, and we hope we'll be seeing you on screen again in our iVKN group soon, and we wish you all the best and a safe journey back home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
If you had to pick one or maybe more than one event or happening here at the retreat that was memorable, what would that be? The food. Okay, I think you're the second person that says that.
That's only because I like food. The people in this hotel have been absolutely friendly and helpful, accommodating.
So, Carola, if you had to pick out one moment, if there can only be one from this retreat that will stay with you, what would that be? And the same question I will pose to Martin.
I think it's meeting people in real life. The first initial, arriving, and when people started arriving, and we've been friends online already on the iVKN, but also friends I'd met before, and making new friends. The tribe, the iVKNclan, or the knitting community here. It's just grown. I'm going home with more friends.
How about you, Martin?
I'd say the same sort of thing. I mean, obviously I didn't take part in much of the knitting stuff, but just being able to sit and chill out and speak to people, hang out with them, people who, like Cora said, that we've not really met in real life, but knew of and had a few conversations with, and that everyone managed to just mesh together and get on really well.
We'd also like to ask, from the whole retreat, what is, if you can single out a moment, an event that will stay with you, whether that's a feeling, whether that's an actual something that happened here.
I think it's been a time of great energy, of creative people coming together. And we all obviously have our own personalities, but we've got that common thread that runs through all of us, with the knitting, the crochet and the spinning. And everyone's so respectful of one another and willing to try new things. It's been wonderful how we've been looked after by the staff here, in particular the three sons of the owners. They couldn't do more to make us feel welcome and safe, and that's just been wonderful.
What's one memory that will remain with you, that you take back with you? If you could choose one, there were obviously some nice moments every day, but if you could pick one.
Well, I can think of two.
Okay,
so
two will do.
I'm going to say two. The lovely day that we spent yesterday up in the interior of Rhodes. We climbed a mountain, well, a hill. I come from Alberta where there's mountains with snow on them, but it was beautiful. I've been hot and sweaty all week, so it was a lovely 15 degrees. We were in the woods, in the beautiful air. We climbed to a monastery, and I was able to sit there and knit and look out over the half of Rhodes out to the Aegean from there. It was just wonderful to have that beautiful hike and see the island from a different angle. But another one was John's scavenger hunt adventure, and having bowed out of the group because of my illness, and but also being recruited at the very last second.
Yes, that was Carmen's idea. It was me, Carmen and Benedicte, and we didn't know how to spin.
No, but so I taught them how to use this terrible drop spindle that had nothing on the top to hold the yarn, so I had to use a half hitch. And in demonstrating it, Benedicta followed it to a letter, stood up and started spinning, and managed to produce. I've never seen anyone learn drop spindling so quickly. She was amazing. She produced a bit of thick and thin yarn, but she caught on so quickly. It was just a delight to see someone take to another yarny craft so quickly. And
thanks to her we came second, so that was pretty good. And thanks to you for your we had like a helper that wasn't
it was a ringer.
Yeah, so we thank you for that.
It was nice to participate.
So now I want to pose a question to both of you. From your experiences here, what would you say was the moment or the event that will remain more like fixed in your memories from the Rhodes retreat? If you could pinpoint one.
D&D night.
Sorry?
D&D night.
D&D night. Yes, we have to inform our viewers that Martin, Carola's significant other, organized the Dungeons and Dragons night for us, and most of us were beginners, and that was really good fun.
Yeah.
And how about you, Pom? What would you say?
I can't pick up one.
Okay, that's good.
The
There's
meals.
more than one.
I
Yeah.
think the meals, because the food has been amazing, and also it was a chance to, because some of us like to be in the sun and the pool, and some other people, but at meal times, you can, like, we tend to gather a larger group, and you get to chat with people that you might not have talked
Throughout the day,
too
maybe.
much through
Yeah.
the morning,
Yeah.
because they were inside, we were outside, or the other way around. So I think the meals have been really good.
All right.
Really good time. Yes.
I'd like to ask you if you could choose one or maybe more, if it's not just one, moment from the retreat that will remain with you throughout.
There are several ones. I loved how we gathered around, the living area, the sofas every day. Maybe it would be in the afternoon or at night, and we will just maybe all meet, or some of us will meet, and we'll have, either a game going on. We had a wonderful D&D first experience that was funny because we didn't know what we were doing, but everyone was kind of enjoying that.
D&D, just to remind some of our viewers, is the Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game.
So that was really also wonderful. But I think every day when we were all together, and exchanging our ideas, because some of us might have done something else, and that was really wonderful. And then I had a wonderful time when we were at the old town of Rhodes at the museum, when I was with Aileen and Nathan, and we were just kind of being, really silly and free. And it was also a nice part of the retreat, that we would enjoy. We would be just like silly tourists, going around. And I think my favorite picture is the one that Nathan took of me, Aileen, and Carola knitting over there. So at some point, we stopped a bit and knitted a few rows. So I don't know, I really like this picture because it had everything that, friends, sun, knitting, and a wonderful time.
You are one of the makers in our group, so I wanted to ask you about John's, aka Beardychiel's, initiative to have like a small marketplace here. How did that go, and what did you think of that as an idea to combine with the knitting retreat?
I thought that it was a wonderful idea because we love knitting, but knitting without the wonderful patterns the designers make, knitting needles, and without yarn, it's not a proper knitting retreat. So I think it was really wonderful. And also we had Eleni with her bags. And I think everybody was just, wanted to touch a bit of everything, like have a class, exchange thoughts about patterns, designers, get to know new things, and then just dive into the yarn and get and create more and cast on all the things.
And Carola also, who took part in that, so
was here vending
we'll
with
get her
wonderful yarn.
thoughts of that.
Yes, and I loved that. I immediately liked her colorway. That was a horror story that she was thinking maybe I should have it or not, and I was like, yes, you should have it. It's because life isn't always about rainbows and everything. So I told her, yeah, for me you should have it. And then I read the story and was like, oh, this is so nice.
Martin's nice stories that accompany Carola's yarn. So
they're great.
And Carola, since you were one of the makers here, along with Liz at Treliz and Eleni Manacori Creations, I wanted to ask you your thoughts about the marketplace that John decided to hold here, and how that went and how that was for you?
It was very nice. I mean, obviously we only had a limited amount of people, like only the group.
This was your first.
My first outing, like presenting my yarns in the flesh, so to speak. And it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it, and also, to my surprise, some of the hotel guests were interested and bought some yarn as well. So nothing but encouragement and nothing but compliments.
And tell us about your next stop, which will be Perth in September.
So Other World of Yarns is vending at Perth Festival of Yarn, the 8th and 9th of September in Perth, Scotland, UK. I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait. 95 days, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a countdown that's been started by the group.
It's like Christmas, but a bit, for yarny people. Yeah, woolier for yarny people. So I cannot wait, because that will be another opportunity to meet old friends and new friends, but also do shopping and just it's a different thing, but I'm looking forward to it very much.
So everyone who sees this video and who plans to go to Perth, we encourage you to go and visit Otherworldly Yarns and Liz's Yarns, Treliz _ Colors Power. She's going to be there also to represent the Greeks. So do tell us about what's coming up in September, what you're doing now that the Rhodes Knitting Retreat is almost over. We want to hear about the upcoming things.
Yeah, it's quite sad that it's over, really, but the next date in all of our calendars is Perth Festival of Yarn, which is the 8th and 9th of September. Insert shameless plug here. We're all over social media, usually as at Perth Festival of Yarn, but we're Perth Yarn Fest on Twitter. When we do that, we've got a Ravelry group, there's the website, that's where you go for tickets. So all eyes in Perth in Scotland next, and I think most of our merry band of people are coming to that. And
for those people watching that don't know you, you are responsible for all this, is that correct?
I am Perth Festival of Yarn.
And can you tell us about the lovely news we found out when we were with you here in Rhodes?
Yes, so we've been counting down the days to Perth because it is such a big thing to quite a lot of people's lives, and when we arrived here we reached day 100, and on day 100 I got the most wonderful message from a friend who has a local yarn shop with saying congratulations on your nomination. You've been shortlisted for the best knitting show in the UK 2017-2018.
So what could that?
It's a huge deal.
What could that potentially mean?
We possibly could win it. I've been shortlisted alongside Edinburgh Yarn Festival, the Knitting and Stitching Show of London. I'm not sure if it's the one that takes place in Olympia or it's the one that takes place at Ali Pali, but they're both massive sort of trade show events. The other two are Yarndale and Wonderwool in Wales, so it's incredible that we've only just had our second year, and to be voted for by the general public, the knitting and crochet and the spinning public, to get to that point. At this point in time is incredible. I feel incredibly humbled. It's a dream come true to get shortlisted.
And it's a very big deal, and you have the best of luck from the Greek crew, as well as the other iVKNers, I'm sure. So we send you positive energy with that. Would you recommend such a retreat or a similar retreat in a different location to other people who might want to try it out?
Yeah, I think it'd be good. It's good fun. It's nice to get a chance to have longer conversations, and it's not awkward. We feel like we know each other, and even if you're new, after a couple of minutes you're invited in, everybody knows you, everybody chats away, what's your knitting on, where are you from, you've travelled far, you know, we've got people from all over here and we've all got the same language, we're all into knitting and crafting and making, so yeah, it's good.
So now that you're leaving, we will renew our appointments on iVKN, so we will not lose touch.
No, but I will not be staying up to 2 a.m. anymore.
Yes, we have to point out here that Aileen has made a great effort. The Greeks requested Eleni and myself that she stay up late, and she did, so we have no complaints. She might have a complaint from me because she wanted me to get up
Yeah, you
at
still
6.
didn't get up at 6 o'clock and join me in the swimming
Yeah.
pool for a 6:30 swim. You still owe me that.
Yeah, I'll keep that for the future sometime where there is a swimming pool and it's hot enough for me to be able to do that. So thanks, Aileen. It's been a pleasure meeting you in person, and we hope to be able to do it soon again.
Hope so.
And we wish you all the best on your trip back home.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What about the concept of another retreat, whether it's here, elsewhere, in another part of Greece or in another country? Would you recommend to fellow knitters or makers or crafty people to go on such an adventure?
Yes, indeed. I mean, before I left my local knitting shop, which is the one and only in Brisbane, I was telling them about it, and they were interested, so they said, oh, when you come back, let us know. So they're really curious.
That's great. We personally, myself, and I'm sure Eleni will agree, we have to say it's been a pleasure meeting you. We have, of course, met Carmen on iVKN, but because of the time difference, it's always a bit difficult in Australia, either early morning or late night. So here we got to learn of the true Carmen, and she's been great fun, and we've had great laughs. And we wish you all the best on your journey back, and of course we look forward to seeing you on iVKN. So thanks a lot, Carmen.
Can I just add something else?
Yes, of course.
And also, I really enjoyed seeing more of the island, that excursion, especially yesterday. Because if you came here by yourself or in a different situation, you wouldn't have got that opportunity. So that was really...
Yes, we just have to inform our viewers there were some planned excursions by John, aka Beardychiel, and that was a nice way to check out the surroundings, and also a very nice opportunity for all of us to hang out as a group, and we fully enjoyed that, I believe, all of us. So thanks again, Carmen, and wishing you all the best.
Okay.
And what did you think of Rhodes as a travel destination?
It's warm.
Yes. It is
It's
warm.
really, really nice.
We're not used to heat as we live in the UK, but it's lovely. We had a couple of excursions. We saw some historical stuff, some archaeological stuff. The food is great. People are lovely. Here in the Rhodian sun, the family who
I
runs.
don't think we've met anyone who
No.
was rude even when we've been
No,
out.
the Rhodian people, the Greek people are so friendly. And it's just been a very lovely experience.
And I'd like to thank you guys and end on a note that we usually end with on iVKN with Martin, which is to say, Yasu Martin and Yasu Carola. It was a pleasure meeting you guys in person, and we hope to do it again soon. But in the meantime, we'll be seeing you on iVKN.
Yes.
So take care, guys, and we wish you a safe journey home.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What about the concept of future knitting retreats, whether it's another one here or elsewhere,
I
whether
think
that's...
we should have one in Athens.
Okay. We're in Athens. We could start thinking, maybe.
Yeah, well, Athens is such an amazing cultural city anyway. Greece does have all its culture. One thing I noticed when we were walking about, because we did some sightseeing together, didn't we?
That's true, yes.
And we went to the Palace of the Grand Master, and I'm a big fan of the Home Lights Templar thing anyway. And we went to the Archaeological Museum.
In the old town?
In the old town, Old town. And what I really really loved. I think there's two things that have really stood out for me within sort of the Greek culture, both incredible and would make me want to come back. Is that there's actually a ministry for culture, and that's kind of proudly displayed everywhere you go. Everything's really clean where you go, and people really care about that sense of history while being modern as well. And the fact that women are respected, I don't think I've heard much mansplaining
Yes.
while I've been here, which is really quite refreshing to have that. I've felt as a single woman coming. Yes, I've been here with my friends, but I've flown out, I've travelled in by myself, and I've had quite an extensive journey to get here from where I live in Scotland. But I felt so warm and welcome and safe in my time here as well.
So, thank you very much.
Yes, more retreats, Athens.
Hopefully.
Definitely Athens.
Thank you very much, Eva, for your time. And we wish you a safe journey back when it's time to leave. You still have 2 days here at the retreat.
I do, yeah, Monday night.
Yeah,
Monday night.
We're leaving tomorrow, the Sunday. But, of course, we will be seeing you again very soon on iVKN.
Oh, there's one tonight, is there not?
There is.
Although
We
by
will.
the time this
Yeah,
uploads.
it's not tonight for the viewers, but yeah, we will try to link up with some of the iVKNers that may be on. So thanks a lot, Eva, for your time.
Oh, thank you for taking the time to have a wee chat with me, Phil.
I'd like to ask you whether you'd recommend this, I mean, a knitting retreat in the same place, because there is talk of it being repeated by John, or in a different place in Greece, or in a different place abroad. The thought of combining crafts, whether that's knitting, spinning, crocheting, sewing, with a holiday, what do you think about that? And is that
the whole idea is so great. The group of us together was, I suppose it wouldn't matter where we were because of the group. So repeating the retreat, absolutely. Another place would be fine as well, because it's always nice to go to a new place. The location, the weather. The first day I jumped right into the AG and I couldn't even help myself. It was wonderful.
We took Laura up to the nearby beach, and she bravely went in, and
it was not brave at all. It was beautiful and cool, and I didn't realize I was going to be the only one, but I was in heaven. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. These retreats are tremendous, and there's so much that looking back on the week that we managed to accomplish that I think it was a tremendous success.
so we thank you, Laura, very much for your insight. We wish you a safe journey home, and we will be, of course, seeing you on our iVKN.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Phil.
Here's Johan, the other Swede.
Yay!
Johan, Johan,
New man eater.
a quick word about your experience here. Regardless if you were a knitter, we consider you part of our group, and it was a pleasure to meet you. So we just want a quick thought about your time here at the retreat.
Thank you, first of all. It's been the only word I can think of is relaxing. Super relaxing, and it's been.
Would you do it again, whether it's here in Rhodes or a different knitting retreat with Linda? Would you want to relive this experience?
I would like to relive it as long as it's in a sunny place.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's been great.
So thank you, Johan, and thank you, Linda and Pom, and we hope to continue our relationship, whether it might not be in person until the next time, but definitely we hope to see you on our iVKN, our International Virtual Knit Nights, very soon. And we wish you all a safe trip home. Thank you. And what do you think of us as a group? What do you think of what's been going on these past few days? Is it something that could happen again? Would you recommend people to try this? And what about the island? What are some things you can tell us about the Island of Rhodes?
1000%. we're here with Carola behind the reception. What else could you ask from your clients?
We have to say that Stavros, his brothers, and his parents are very welcoming. So you recommend it 1000% then as an idea?
Yes, it was brilliant. I saw that people join the classes, they learn new things. It was nice. Finally, people met
in person.
Online.
In person, yeah.
Online, in
Yes.
person, yes. That's a big thing.
Yeah, and I saw the joy in their faces when they met here in the reception area for the first time. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Cutie calls.
Yeah.
It was a fun week. Everybody's sad to go.
Yes.
Yes.
Margaret is about to leave, so we'll have to go and say bye to Margaret.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But the online community will keep going, and now we have more friends, including yourselves.
Yes.
The Rhodian Sun Hotel.
And I'm happy to say that we're all gonna play Dungeons and Dragons
Online.
Online
Yes.
in November. I'll join in November.
And about Rhodes, what are a few things you can tell us about the Island of Rhodes? What there is to do? Things you recommend for people coming here, apart from their stay at your hotel, of course, which offers all-inclusive packages. We should mention. What other things are there for people to do?
Rhodes is an island that can satisfy all kinds of tourism. We have it's a modern, historical, and a traditional island at the same time. It's a very big island, and every spot has something to give you.
Okay.
So you always find something.
You can combine everything during your stay here.
You can visit castles, you can go to lovely sandy beaches.
You can chill, relax at the hotel.
Yes.
Yes.
As you guys go to the traditional village yesterday and you see the history of Rhodes. Yeah.
All right. So we thank Stavros and his family for their hospitality.
We thank you guys.
And for their humor and kindness. And we hope to keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Speaking of festivals and your experience from vending there, how would you compare the whole experience of a retreat compared to festival from the aspect of the meeting people part of it, let's say?
Well, I do a lot of festivals because I need to travel to get to know my customers, and my customers get to know me, because as I'm in Greece, we don't have a lot of these kind of things. So I mostly do it to get to know, customers and people, and have another relationship, a more intimate. So it's the same thing in a retreat, but it's amplified because you're so much more time. You have more time to talk with each and everyone. You have more time to get to know them, not only in a meeting level, but also a personal level. And I do consider everybody here really my friends. And I think we're deeply kind of sorry that, someone is leaving. They started leaving since yesterday.
Since Thursday, actually, when Nathan left first, he was the first to leave us, and then people have started leaving, so it's a bit of a bittersweet feeling.
Yes, and you're for some, we know that I'm going to Perth Yarn Festival, and some of them are there, so it's nice to know that we have already, a date
a
going
set
on.
date of when you're going to meet again.
Yes, and it's kind of hopeful, we're going to see each other. That's only the beginning. So I really like that.
All right, Liz, we want to thank you for everything. Eleni and myself, of course, are not really saying goodbye to Liz because she's our neighbor in Athens, so we'll be seeing her very soon. But we wish you a safe trip back, and we thank you for the good memories, and see you soon on iVKN as well, I'm sure.
Yes, for sure, definitely. I might be not as regularly on in the summer because I will be in an island and maybe my internet connection will be a bit dodgy, but yes, I will definitely be on and seeing you all very soon.
Okay, thank you, Liz.
Thank you.